Senior birozo simasali era before the break tubadde tutunulira donors have decided to cut aid over 300 million US dollars. But the ultimate question is, how can donors control the money they give us? Contacts on your screen. Now verako nechoyogera. Abana bakomyewo. They are back at home. Abamu balese homework, abala bali promoted, abala mubasindise mu byalo already, munonya school fees. Naye omwana ng'akomezaawo report. Nga kuliko fa. How do you deal with that? Oba, I'll probably ask parents who has children here.
But me as me, I think parents shouldn't blame so much those children. I mean, there's a way a parent brings up their children. At some cases, there are parents who treat their children. For example, they beat them. So the child is not going to study because he's studying, but he's going to study to impress you. Actually, you're the one studying indirectly.
Let's assume the child has been doing fairly well. 60s, 70s. Then all of a sudden, the child brings that.
All of a sudden brings that.
What do you do?
As a parent, first sit down and find out the cause as to why this child has failed.
But you people, I think you guys are lying. No. Do we ever do these things here?
Yeah. Yes, one thing we have to know is parenting is a multi-dimensional thing. And it's not about, paying fees, sending your child to school, then you wait for the report to come home. How do we inspire these children?
Yes.
The element that leads towards performance has to do a lot with the environment. And the parent is the immediate environment.
Yes.
These days parents think when children go to school, it's all about teachers. And when they come with a bad report, they will say these teachers are not doing their work. But what role do you do as a parent?
Yes.
How do you counsel? How do you guide? Career guidance is very important. Do you inspire your child? Have you helped that child to picture into the future that he or she will want to be? Or you're just saying go to school, you're not helping the child to know what?
But the problem we also have these days, parents are too busy for their children.
Yes.
They are too busy for their children. You see, when you're a parent, you're supposed to bring your child close to you. Because when you bring your child close to you, you get to understand whatever they think, you get to know what he likes most, you get to know what the problem is. So by that, you build enough trust from your child.
Right.
Whatever problem your child will have, he will always talk to you about it. You see, you'll naturally realize that my child is not fine. You understand? But these parents, for example, one who works in tallow oil, another one who works in, let me say,
Office of the Prime Minister.
Office of the Prime Minister. After eating money, they are busy, they want to go and eat more money. So they come back at 10 in the night, the child is asleep. They wake up at 5 in the morning, the child is asleep.
The maid is the mother.
The maid is the mother, the punisher, the father, and also they also steal money for charcoal. Corruption.
Tugeze mwana yarga isomero nahoza kwizore yakoze kubi n'umutuza n'umubuza insonga kirya gataho nuzando mu kirasi somesa yana kusomesa tokufayo hatorebe insonga iri hagati y'umwana icyo kwasa kumuzira kudashye utamuzemero kusoma cyo mu misho umwetegereza mu ino reba n'icyo kugira cyo kumuteganisa
naye cheche chiberawo mubazadde baffe when we say a bad grade to concluding rawo mwana gwe ozanya mu class chiboko.
No, that's what
that is the problem.
Isn't that what happens?
And that by the way, that brings hatred between the parent and the child.
And fear.
You see, and fear. Some of us are mature characters, but we are afraid of our parents up to now.
Right.
You understand? Because of those small things. At one time I felt like asking him, man, boss, report you You understand? Because this man wanted me to be perfect
right.
for life.
Right.
You see it? And for me I couldn't do it because I had my interests. Whereby people drive their children to school and they're like, you must do sciences.
It's a rule.
It's a rule, sciences.
And doesn't look at the capability of that child.
So you have to understand that
children be able to really perform well in sciences or arts.
waliwo mikwano gyenje nga I went to school, I got my father's degree. Now I have gone back to study my own degree.
Yes, because the parent forced this kid to do a certain course that the child wasn't willing to take on.
Right.
So when this child went to school, purposely went to study for the father. And then after completing the father's degree, said, Dad, I'm done, and here is your degree.
Right.
And after handling over the degree for the father, he himself wanted to be somebody and to do a certain thing.
Yes.
Exactly, from him deep, from his bottom heart.
Yes.
So he went back and studied what he really felt he wanted.
Right.
And on studying what he really felt he wanted, so he'll be somebody doing a given job with heartfully. If he's a doctor, he wanted to be a doctor, he'll treat even these patients kindly and trustworthy, other than forcefully.
Right. Yes.
You said suddenly a child comes home with a report. He has been getting 70, 60, 80. Then all of a sudden there is
Things are
that.
bad.
Like colleagues have put it, it's actually a role of parents. In most cases, we realize that they instilled a fear factor in children. There could have been a small issue at home, and you kept on pumping that onto this child, that this is what I want you to do. Short of that, you'll not be my son, you'll not be my daughter.
Yes.
And of course, the child now goes to school, not to concentrate on academics, but because at the back of the mind, what is ringing in the mind? What the father said or what the mother said. So eventually, instead of concentrating to follow the academic curriculum, the child now has a fear. So the best thing to do is parents have to deal with the fear factor.
Right.
Let's not be tyrants at home. Let's really handle this as growing brains that must be mentored, that should be prepared and molded towards that aspiration that we have as parents.
That's very good.
It's not the children to develop.
How should you appreciate a child who performs very well? As a parent, enough much really.
That's what
Does it just stop at, hey, you are such a bright kid?
No, he gave a token of appreciation.
What is the ideal appreciation?
Sometimes you may take this kid out, say like something that has never happened and something that this kid has even never thought of, that dad can do this or mommy.
But do you appreciate your
Yes, we
guardians?
do.
Do you
Yes,
when you
we
see
do.
that report, do you?
Yes, we do. So if you're a parent who can't really afford, what you do, the way you handle this kid, like, wow, say, Betty, my child, thank you for such a performance. You've really made me proud. I'm really proud of you. And I'll give you a small gift. Maybe you can even buy a sweet to a kid. It is really something big.
Homework said, you give him a geometry
I
set.
know.
I mean,
Yes, even a geometry set.
will
A
be
new one.
an Oxford.
Like, wow.
Homework calculated.
But these things of giving them a phone.
And it's sad that in some homes, you do not, your child is back. Later now, Musaba report, you do not know whether they got a report or not. You do not know the bank slip. Some of you don't even know the classes that your children are
Oh,
in.
my classes.
And it's very, very
And
sad.
even the school.
And even the school.
And even the headmaster.
On Facebook, we asked you, and Nusura Bukenya says, give your child enough time, leave them with work to do during the day, and when you get back home, reward them for the correct answers. Omar R. Islam says, ask the child and get his view on what the reason is for performing poorly. Yes. And Agnes Akio says, I coach the child myself. I think that works for parents who are teachers. We don't remember some things.
Some of our parents are in the anti-corruption code.
Noah Musura says, Chibok and Mochibok. Grounded the whole holiday. You watch Micah and then Mochibok when I take you back to school. Trust me, baby Kola. I know some of us studied, but I took here. So because there was a cane at home, you had to bring good reports. But of course, right now things which you say, you cane a child like that, you're taken to police because you're abusing their rights. But check out Jim in his cartoon.